The evidence of animation seems beginning from traditional art as early as Paleolithic cave paintings, when people in the former times started to draw the story of their lives, cultures, and traditional on the cave. In the same way, animation was born from art and the human desire to recreate the life we see around us. It doesn't use to entertain children only, but it also used to build their conscience. In 18th century, flipbook is a book with a series of pictures that read gradually from one page to the next, so that when the pages are turned rapidly, the picture will be appeared to animate by stimulating motion or some different other change. There used to be many drawing and photography to create one story in flipbook before the century of camera extensively. The beginning of animation started by Edward J. Muybridge. He was an English photographer important for his pioneering work in photographic study of motion and early work in motion picture projection. He was known for his photograph of the West, and later for his work on animal locomotion and the invention called suprascope, which was an early device for displaying motion pictures. Walt Disney Animation Studios, originally known as the Disney Brother Cartoon Studio in 1923, with Walt Disney and his brother Roy as equal partners. The company soon changed its name to the Walt Disney Studio after Roy suggested. The Walt Disney Company started in the rear of a small office in Los Angeles. After his first animation was released, Walt saw a need to increase the size of his studio. With profits from his work, he began to designing a modern studio for the purpose of continuing to make animated films. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs was completed because features like motion pictures cartoon ever created, one requiring more than 1,500,000 individual pen and ink drawings and watercolor paintings. Long before the picture reached the camera, artists completed tens of thousands of drawings. Animators worked for 6 months drawing innumerable pictures before they caught the spirit of the various characters they were expected to portray and were able to set down that spirit without variation for day after day. Disney wanted to increase the art value of the many paintings making up a picture by achieving a soft focus effect on the background, eliminating the various levels of each scene individually, and separating background from foreground, thus keeping background objects to their properly related size. Drawing is a very important aspect in traditional animation, but what about the machine that help animate come to life? 2D can have a little bit of 3D with the help of the multiplane camera. The multiplane camera was a special camera that helped record the movement of multi-layer artwork that would move past the camera at various speeds and distances. It was very popular for establishing background shade. The different layer of transparent artwork would be placed below and the camera was placed vertically on top and would shoot down to record the images. The different layers combined with the calculated distance and speed help create more depth and dimension. In Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, the 500 voices were tested to discover the one that would fit the action. In animation, all sounds were recorded before the camera began to turn. These sounds are later synchronized with the movement and charted on the basis of unit of time. In quite a difficult part, because of the pictures that run through the projector every second, action and sound effects might be timed accordingly.
She's mad, jealous of you. She'll stop at nothing.
When an animator drew the various lip movements required to form a word, the artist frequently consulted the soundtrack to know precisely in how many frames he must complete the drawing. Then he must match action and noise to the animation frame by frame. The Little Mermaid is the story of a mermaid called Ariel who dreamed of becoming human. Ariel's character was based on the title character of Hans Christian Andersen, The Little Mermaid in 1975. But the co-director and the writer felt that the mermaid in the original movie was too tragic and revert character, consulting of a new Ariel. A challenge in animating Ariel for the film was the color required to show Ariel in a changing environment, both under the sea and on land. The bluish-green color of Ariel film was a hue specially mixed by the Disney Paint Lab. The color was named Ariel after the character. Disney's next film used a digital method of coloring and combining scattered drawing developed by Pixar called Computer Animation Production System, which would eliminate the need for cel, the multiplane camera, and many of the optical effects used for the last time in animated. However, the computer animation production system was used experimentally on a few scenes in Little Mermaid as well. In 2005, Disney had produced a film called Chicken Little, which was the first 3D animation. They used technique digital 3D with a non-specific 3D standard in which films, television shows, and video games are presented and showed in the digital 3D technology or later processed in digital post-production to add more real effects. New software and hardware tools were used to introduce the production of this film. A geometric wireframe model of the character is used to animate that can stretch and squeeze at the place. They use a new technique called self-control which makes it possible to see the whole model on screen. As a new electronic tablet screen, it allowed the artist to draw digital sketches of the characters to rough out the movements, which is then transferred to the 3D characters. 2D animation is a traditional animation method that has existed since the late 1800s. It is one drawing followed by another in a slightly different pose, on and on for 24 frames a second. Most 2D animation involves using computer software to one degree or another, from just digitally coloring the cell to be photographed in a traditional method to doing every single element in the computer. Now let's see the difference between 2D and 3D.
Now, come with us and enter a whole new world beyond your imagination, where a boy discovers a magic lamp and a genie who can make all his dreams come true.
10,000 years will give you such a crick in the neck. Whoa! Wow! So what'll it be, Master?
I must have hit my head harder than I thought.
Hello, I am Baymax. Tadashi programmed me to heal the sick and injured.
What?
It's like spooning a warm marshmallow.
Reports are flooding in about a major catastrophe.
We're under attack from a supervillain, people!
Come on, go, 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 go!
I am not fast.
Yeah, no kidding!
So
You can see the difference between these two, right? 3D animation is completely in a computer. Things that you can create in a 3D animation program exist in an X, Y, and Z world, which you can actually turn 360 degrees. 3D allows you to do things that simply are not possible in 2D animation. It produces a more realistic characters that is represented in all three dimensions, which include height, width, and depth. The main benefit of 3D animation over 2D animation, beyond the obvious ability to create a more lifelike character with realistic textures, and it can be treated much like a physical object or an actor.